Hello and welcome. If you've ever found yourself a bit stuck when it comes to French verbs, well, you are in exactly the right place. In this masterclass, we're going to unlock a single concept that is the absolute key to using verbs correctly and, most importantly, with confidence: the infinitive. Now, what you're about to see is drawn directly from the proven curriculum at a French Rendezvous. It's a method specifically designed to build clarity and confidence right from day one. Okay, let's dive right in. We're starting with the infinitive. And you might be asking, why start here? Well, because mastering this one simple idea is what unlocks your ability to use thousands of French verbs, not just correctly, but creatively too. So what exactly is the infinitive? The simplest way to think about it is that it's the basic dictionary form of a verb. I like to call it the verb's family name. It's the original version, before we change it to show who is doing the action or when it's happening. And here's where it gets really, really useful. As you can see, pretty much every verb in the French language can be sorted into one of just three groups. And it's all based on the last two letters of its infinitive. You've got your ER verbs, your IR verbs, and then that third group with a few different endings. This isn't just a grammar lesson. It's a mental shortcut that's going to help you learn conjugation patterns so much faster. Of course, French just loves its exceptions, right? The verb aller, which means to go, it ends in er, but it actually behaves like an irregular third group verb. And knowing these little details from the get-go, well, that's what really prepares you for real-world conversations. Okay, so let's move on and see how this all builds. See, it's not enough to just know what the infinitive is. We really need to understand how, and more importantly, why we use it. So we're going to explore the four main ways the infinitive pops up in everyday French. First up, you will almost always use the infinitive after a preposition. I'm talking about little words like pour, de, or sans. If you spot one of these, you can be pretty sure that the verb coming right after it is going to stay in its original infinitive form. For example, have a look at this. Je vais à la piscine pour nager. Here, nager, to swim, is the whole reason for going to the pool. It stays in the infinitive because it explains the why behind the first action, and it follows that key preposition, pour. Simple, right? Let's look at another one. J'ai arrêté de fumer il y a 2 ans. In this sentence, de fumer is the action that was stopped. The infinitive follows the preposition de to make it crystal clear what was stopped. Okay, next up is a rule you are going to use constantly. I mean it. It's so simple. When you have two verbs right next to each other in a sentence, the first one gets conjugated, but the second one, it always stays in the infinitive, every single time. And here's the perfect example. J'aime manger des croissants. See how that first verb, aimer, changes to j'aime to match the subject, I, but the second verb, manger, just stays in its original form. I like to eat. Let's do just one more to really lock it in. Il préfère regarder la télévision. He prefers to watch television. The first verb, préfère, is conjugated for he, but the action that follows it, regarder, stays put as an infinitive. Now this next one is really fascinating. The infinitive can actually stop being a verb altogether and transform into a noun. It can represent the whole idea of an action, becoming the subject of the entire sentence. Take this sentence, for instance. Voyager est une passion pour moi. In this case, voyager doesn't mean someone is actively traveling. It represents the concept of traveling. That idea itself becomes the subject of the sentence. Traveling is a passion. See how that works? And finally, that brings us to our fourth use. You can use the infinitive to give general commands or instructions. Think about what you'd see in a recipe, on a warning sign, or just as a piece of general advice. It's a way of giving a command that's not for one specific person, but for everyone. I love this example. It's such a wonderful piece of wisdom. Écouter, c'est bien. Comprendre, c'est mieux. To listen is good, but to understand is better. Here, écouter and comprendre are used as general advice for anyone and everyone. And here's a classic example you might see in a health magazine. Manger sainement pour rester en forme. Eat healthily to stay in shape. It's a general recommendation, and it's expressed perfectly with the infinitive. All right, so you've seen the theory. Now it's time to put that knowledge to work. A quick exercise is really the best way to make sure these concepts are going to stick with you. The task is super simple. I'm going to show you a sentence with a conjugated verb, and your job is just to identify the original infinitive form of that verb. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first one. Nous parlons français tous les jours. The verb we're looking at is parlons. So what's the original infinitive? Think about it for a second. The infinitive is parler. That's a classic first group ER verb. Great job. All right, let's try one more. Il prend un café. The verb here is prend. What's the infinitive for that one? It is prendre, and that's one of our third group verbs. See, you're already getting the hang of this. So as you can probably tell by now, mastering the infinitive isn't just about memorizing one little grammar rule. It's about understanding a whole system. And this idea, building your skills logically piece by piece, that's really at the heart of how we approach teaching. And while this explainer is a fantastic start, we all know that real learning happens with support. That's exactly why we've built an entire ecosystem around this teaching style. Everything from personalized courses with certified teachers to an interactive platform you can use 24/7, plus all the tools like flashcards and audio lessons that fit the way you learn best. So if this structured, clear way of learning really clicks with you, then I want to invite you to take the next step. Visit us at A French Rendezvous and see how we can help you crush your language goals. And because we truly believe in building a community of learners, we have a special offer. Just ask us how. Referring an organization could get you a free weekly course for up to an entire year. Thanks so much for your time, and I really hope this has unlocked a new level of confidence in your French.